Hello, I'm Elizabeth Hansen, Managing Director of the Texas Archive of the Moving Image, also known as TAMI. TAMI is proud to be a member of the Association of Moving Image Archivists, a global network of professionals committed to preserving and providing access to our shared audiovisual heritage. TAMI's founder, Dr. Caroline Frick, represented EMEA at the first World Day for Audiovisual Heritage in 2005. At the time, TAMI was only 2 years old with less than 100 videos in our collection. 20 years later, thanks in large part to our Texas Film Roundup, we've digitized and shared tens of thousands of Texas-related moving images, opening a unique window into the lived experiences that define the Texas story. When Caroline Frick arrived in Texas, a state with a strong cinematic identity and a long-standing presence on the silver screen, she was surprised to find no coordinated effort to preserve its own moving image heritage. She envisioned a new kind of Texas Moving Image Archive, one focused on access, public engagement, and community collaboration. Her vision was shaped by her work in the archives in both the US and the UK, where she recognized the value of preserving amateur, industrial, and home movies that captured everyday life. She also drew inspiration from Australia's Last Film Search, a national initiative that demonstrated how public outreach could help uncover and preserve hidden histories. With these influences in mind, TAMI partnered with the Texas Film Commission to launch the Texas Film Roundup, a statewide preservation and digitization campaign designed to discover, preserve, and share Texas films. In 2008, I joined TAMI as part of the core team that designed and launched the Texas Film Roundup. That first year, we hosted events in Austin, Lubbock, and the lower Rio Grande Valley, inviting Texans to bring out their films. From that very first effort, we discovered extraordinary materials, including the earliest known film of Austin from 1911, footage of the Snake King of Brownsville from 1914, a 1970s civil defense training film reenacting Lubbock's response to a tornado, and hundreds of home movies depicting family celebrations, travel, and even military service, both in Texas and abroad. Since 2008, the Roundup has traveled across Texas, from El Paso to Houston, Amarillo to Brownsville, transforming libraries, theaters, film festivals, and community centers into temporary preservation hubs. Thousands of Texans and hundreds of organizations have participated, contributing more than 50,000 reels and videotapes. Every item represents a story, and transforming those stories into accessible, sustainable digital files is where preservation truly begins. At TAMI, preservation begins the moment materials arrive at our lab. Every film and tape we receive is inventoried, inspected, and prepared for digitization, transforming decades-old media into digital files that can be viewed and shared for generations to come. Our team uses a range of specialized equipment to digitize formats from 8mm and VHS to professional broadcast formats and more. Once digitized, materials are reviewed, cataloged, and securely stored on our servers. Selected items are then made available online, where anyone, anywhere can explore and connect with the stories they contain. And although TexasArchive.org started back in 2005 with just a handful of streaming videos, today it features thousands and receives over 1 million views each year. Through web exhibits, educational resources, community partnerships, and curated screenings, we actively work to engage Texans with our collections. And we utilize a variety of social media platforms to reach millions more viewers around the world. TAMI was one of the first audiovisual archives to share content on TikTok, earning recognition from Texas Monthly as a best follow. The Roundup has received both state and national recognition, including the WOW Award from the American Association for State and Local History, its highest honor, as well as recent awards from the Texas Historical Records Advisory Board and the Texas Digital Library. Our work has inspired similar community-based preservation and access initiatives across the United States and abroad. And today we remain dedicated to empowering individuals and communities to see, share, and safeguard their own audiovisual heritage. Audiovisual heritage connects us all, and it lets us hear voices from the past, see the world as it once was, and understand the people who came before us. As part of UNESCO's World Day for Audiovisual Heritage, we're honored to share how one regional archive, through collaboration, creativity, and community, contributes to the global effort to keep our moving image history in motion. Enjoy the show.
It was the beginning of the end for America's exploration of the moon. We achieved our wildest dreams, but then failed to dream some more. In 1972, we said goodbye to the moon. But the men who first stepped on this barren landscape still have a few dreams of their own.
To go back to the moon and on to Mars.
Buzz Aldrin has returned to Houston to plan our return to the moon. He believes space tourism is the secret to funding further exploration.
Not just satellites that are needed by some commercial market, but people. Because we have billions of people, and millions of them would like to get into space.
It's either dream or die. It's time to start dreaming again.
Gene Kranz is the legendary flight director who guided Apollo 11 to the moon and back 30 years ago.
I'm very frustrated, and I think that the majority of the people in Mission Control are frustrated that we've been marching in place basically for the last 30 years.
The moon landing changed our view of the universe, but instead of expanding our horizons, we have decided to simply accept them.
Now with the technology we have today, it would be spectacular. We don't need technology, it's there. What we need is leadership and a dream.
In the 1960s, that dream was delivered by President Kennedy. He kicked off the space program from the 50-yard line at Rice Stadium.
Your city of Houston, with its manned spacecraft center, will become the heart of a large scientific and engineering community.
We're moving into the next century, and I would love to see one of these presidential candidates speak on a plan for space.
Today, there is no political crisis motivating us. How can there be a space race with no one to compete against? We must find a new goal and a reason to go there.
But there is something different about tonight. There is something special about tonight. What is different? What is special? I, Barbara Jordan, am a keynote speaker. When a lot of years passed since 1832, and during that time it would have been most unusual for any national political party to ask a Barbara Jordan to deliver a keynote address. But tonight, here I am. And I feel that notwithstanding the past, that my presence here is one additional bit of evidence that the American dream need not forever be deferred.
I've never seen an actor and his double do the same thing. I mean, is this unusual or not?
Well, I don't think we haven't done it before. Boy, that was hot. Yeah, that was great.
So, can you? I don't think people understand why that happened.
Well, see, because we get two angles, so we want to get the explosion on this house too. But we couldn't do it with me running in one direction to get the full view of me right in front of this house here. Then they wouldn't be able to cover that one. So with me running, with that blowing up right behind me here, and then Kenny running over here, getting that explosion in that house, that we can tie them both in.
Never seen that before.
No, I know. That's very smart thinking of our people there.
I guess you're both equally expendable too. Apparently, that's the bottom line.
Whatever.
Yeah. So it's not like we got to save the star for this one. It's like, go let him go and do this.
Well, you notice my legs are pumping pretty fast there.
I think they pump a little faster after the boom.
Oh, it's amazing. You have to see it on the. Oh, you probably have it on here, but geez, on the monitor. See, I mean, it's right behind me. You see the thing blowing right behind me there. You don't realize what's happening when you're running so fast.
Yeah, look great.
Yeah, it's gonna be spectacular.
Thanks for having us out.
Oh, you bet. You bet. Yeah, you bet. Good seeing you.
You know.
The Lone Star Breweries are a very special sort of company. Sure, you get a great beer in Lone Star's world-famous Buckhorn Bar, but you'd expect that. It's the things they do you don't expect that make Lone Star unique. Like putting tens of thousands of full-grown rainbow trout in the Guadalupe River to create a new and permanent paradise for fishermen. Like helping 4-H clubbers and future farmers by paying top money for their competition livestock and produce. Like maintaining an experimental farm and working ranch where many species of wild game are bred to stock and replenish nature's hunting and fishing grounds. Now, is it any wonder that Lone Star brings you the best things first? The first certified premium quality beer. The first real draft beer in packages. No, sir, it's no wonder.
Nowadays, every time you turn around in Texas, some armadillo is staring back at you. There's no escape in San Antonio. Their basketball team parades their motorized mascot out at halftime. Out in Dallas, it's armadillos and head-to-head competition to see who's the fastest one in the land. And there's armadillos for research, armadillos for dinner, pewter armadillos, porcelain armadillos, stuffed armadillos, armadillos on canvas, armadillos on wheels, and even, we're told, giant beer-consuming armadillos.
But I'm telling you the truth, officer. A giant armadillo drank all the Lone Star. I mean, it just sucked my truck dry. Giant armadillo. But you better warn the people.
You couldn't have asked for a more unlikely hero.
You gotta believe me.
Armadillos are an ugly critter which couldn't win a beauty contest in a million years. But in a Texas popularity poll, these guys might just outdraw the man in the White House. In fact, the Texas state legislature is currently considering making the armadillo the state animal. And folks in the Lone Star State couldn't be happier.
It's just like a fad. Everybody follows the fad, and it just got started as a good... Everybody thinks Texas is neat, you know, because if you're a Texan, Texas is the greatest place in the world. And that's our graphic symbol, I think, for right now.
It's all part of a madness which is reaping huge profits for enterprising business people. Texas armadillos, after all, mean big dollars. Nobody wants to be caught without an armadillo t-shirt, pin, or hat.